MG has established itself as a major player in the UK car market. In fact, last year it was in the top 10, beating car manufacturers such as Skoda and Honda. So it's actually a major player, and it's launched lots of new crossovers and lots of electrified cars as well. And this is the all-new MGS5, and I think it looks great. It represents a whole new car for this market. In fact, it's sort of replacing the MG ZS EV, but this is nothing like the MG ZS EV, actually based on the underpinnings from the MG4 and the MG Cyberster. Got a whole new look to it, so it's got this sort of checkered flag inspired DRL lights up here. Down here we've got these low beam, high beam units, LED projector as well on the trophy model, 360 cameras on the trophy as well. This front bumper split is supposed to remind you of the MG Cyberster, which of course is a very good sports car. They've really thought about aerodynamics with this car. It's got these air vents here, it's got an active grille shutter down here as well. This has got a coefficient of friction of just 0.27, so it's a really efficient car. And this air curtain here creates a curtain of air past the wheel to reduce drag and improve on that further. Speaking of the alloy wheels, we've got 18-inch alloys here with 225/55 R18 Bridgestone Turanza tyres. They've got aero covers on them as well, so again, makes it more efficient. On this, we've got these black mirror covers, which look quite sporty. We've got these silver roof rails, which are mounted very securely to the roof. You can actually hold up to 75 kilos up on the roof, which again, really helps with making a family car that's very practical. Chuck a roof tent on it, get a big roof box, put bikes on it, all the rest of it. And those silver roof rails are echoed. Obviously we've got the silver chrome going around the window, but also the silver in the lower part of the sill down here. This is actually a rear wheel drive car, so because we've switched over from using a traditional passenger car chassis to the MG4 and Cyberster chassis, there's actually a rear wheel drive layout in this, which gives real benefits we'll see later on when we're on the road. Moving around the back of the car, we've got this integrated roof spoiler with third brake light. We've got a rear wiper, which of course we're missing from the first lot of the MG4, but they've added one now. And then, like the MG4 and like we've seen on the new HS as well, we've got this full width light bar that goes across the back, again with this sort of checkered flag inspired motif, although it looks a little bit like a smiley face as well. And then we've got a power tailgate, so if we swipe our foot, that opens up and gives you loads of storage space. So the boot is actually really configurable. It's got a hardboard hinging lid that you can put, and that's in the flat floor position. So actually, if you fold down the back seat, it gives you a flat level all the way through. Or you can dunk this down to the bottom level. That gives you an extra sort of 15 centimetres depth here, which obviously then if you're carrying bigger, heavier things, then that goes down there. But also underneath all this, there's a tools location, and built into this is some styrofoam. We've got the tyre pump, you've got some foam, but you've also got a storage bin here, which I think is big enough to fit in a charging cable. So although on this car you don't have a frunk at the front of the car, you do have a place where you can store your odds and ends that you don't use very often, but you do need occasionally. We've got these netting pockets at the side as well, which is good. We've got a couple of curry hooks, and there's a light in the boot as well. So the interior of the all-new MGS5 is where they've taken a real step up in quality. Gone are the sort of hard plastics. Even on the top of the door cappings here, it's all sort of soft, squishy, leather look vibe going on. We've got this different sort of two-tone with the light grey as well. And that continues around the front. Dominating the centre, we've got this 12.3-inch touchscreen, which is the biggest touchscreen they've fitted to an MG vehicle so far, and it looks great. The resolution is very good, and more importantly, it's really responsive. So as you're swiping through the different screens, if you're pressing buttons, it works really well. What I really like about it is that rather than just being a full touchscreen like when you put your Android Auto on, it doesn't take over the full screen. It still maintains a status bar at the top. At the bottom, you've got access to quickly use things. So, for example, your heated seat buttons, which are 3-stage heating. The driver's steering wheel heated as well on this model. And then you've got a home button, your navigation, your music, etc. 360 cameras, phone, they're all in the centre there. But they haven't chucked everything into the touchscreen. A lot of car manufacturers are starting to come away from this now. They realise that actually having a touchscreen is great, and it gives them, you know, ultimate flexibility over where they put things, but drivers do actually like to have big clunky buttons that they can press without really having to look too hard. So we've got climate control over here, on off with the big switch, and then you rotate the dial to change the temperature. Fan speed is up and down. We've got a heated rear window, we've got a hazard light switch, we've got your front demister as well. They're all on physical buttons. And then at this side, this toggle up and down changes the direction of the airflow if you haven't got an auto mode. And then you've got volume control here, and the centre button is home button, and that takes you back to the home screen on here as well. We've got two decent sized cup holders, which are big enough to take a big cup as well. And then we move into this sort of Alcantara trimmed centre console here with a wireless charging pad just there. Also a slot for your mobile phone to fit in as well. So if you don't need to charge your phone, you can just sort of stand it up there. It's drive mode selector here with your handbrake. that automatically comes off when you put it in drive anyway. And then the steering wheel looks very similar to the ones we've seen on the MG4. And the driver's display, 10.25 inch, really clear, really easy to see dead ahead. It looks great. In terms of the center console, we've also got this storage bin down under here, which has got plenty of room. Under the armrest here, we've got two USB-C sockets and a 12-volt socket, and this center console here is big enough to take a big Stanley Cup. Yeah, plenty of storage around the cabin. LED lights up here for driver illumination. We've got LED lights in the back, which I know that a lot of people who've had previous MGs which don't have those. So I think realistically, MG has taken all of the sort of criticisms of other cars and fixed them all with this. So in the back seats of the MGS5, this has got a longer wheelbase than the previous ZS EV, and it's got a longer wheelbase than the MG4 as well. And that means that we actually get more rear legroom. So in the back here, the driver's seat is set for me, I'm 5'11", and sat in the back of the car, as you can see, I've got a good sort of 5 inches of knee room, and my feet could go under the seat in front as well if I wish. USB-C socket here. I really like the texture of these seats. So we've got like a grey and black and sort of fabric and leather combination going on, which is really nice. It actually feels quite high-end with that sort of tweedy sort of feel to the fabric there. We've got a central armrest with a couple of cup holders in there, and again that's nicely trimmed and stitched in this leather look fabric. We've got 3 headrests along the back, so it's absolutely fine for rear passengers, and of course it's a flat floor being designed as an EV, so when we're sat in the middle, plenty of leg room again, knee room, no problem. 3 adults can fit across the back of this, no issue at all. And yeah, we've got the courtesy lights up in the roof on both sides. Plenty of legroom, plenty of knee room, plenty of boot space. Nice place to sit in the driver's seat. I think that MG has really upped their game here. So what's the MGS5 like to drive? Well, it's actually a more dynamic driving position and better feel on the road compared to the old MG ZS EV. Up to 230 brake horsepower available from that rear mounted motor, and that means that in sport mode we can go from 0 to 60 in just 6.3 seconds. Now, I'll be honest, I'm driving around in comfort mode at the moment, which turns down the accelerator response. It just makes it a little bit more lethargic, but still it keeps up with traffic very well, but it saves a little bit of energy. And at the moment we're still averaging 4.3 miles per kilowatt hour. We've done almost 100 miles and we haven't used a third of the battery yet. We're on 68%. The WLTP figure for this car is 288 miles. If you go for the SE long range, then it's 298 miles. If you go for the SE standard range, it drops to 211 miles. MG, and to be fair, me as well, expect most people to go for the long range trophy, which is the car that we're in today, and it's a lovely place to sit. We've got real good comfort, we've got all of the sort of mod cons that you might think we need. The 360 cameras are crystal clear, and we'll show you those when we're parking later. But overall, the drive of it is great. We've got a good driving position, we've got choice of regenerative braking modes. You've got 1, 2, 3 adaptive, which varies depending on the traffic in front of you, and also a 1-pedal driving mode as well. And even on steep hills like this, which you can see we're in the Trough of Bowland again, one of our favourite spots, going up and down the hills is absolutely no bother whatsoever, no tax the motor. Even in comfort mode it's got plenty of power. So overall, what do we think of this? Well, certainly on country roads like this and around town, it can be very, very efficient indeed. I drove from Skipton over to Chorley this morning, a distance of 44 miles, and I averaged 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour. Used something like 13% of the battery to do 44 miles. So yeah, it can be really efficient at those sorts of speeds, which is about 20% motorway. The rest of it was all sort of A roads and rural roads. But overall, yeah, it drives really well, and when you want to press on around a corner, if we change it to sport mode and accelerate. Oh, right, okay. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh yeah, and actually it grips on really well around the corners. It doesn't have the body lean that we had in the old MG ZS EV. In fact, actually, I think the suspension on this is actually slightly better than the MG4 Trophy. Obviously it doesn't have the grip of the X-Power with the all-wheel drive, but in terms of positivity on the turning, when you floor it coming out of a corner, it just grips for ages. This chassis works really, really well. Massive improvement over the previous ZS EV. And if you've got a ZS EV and perhaps found it a little bit roly-poly around the corners, this is way more composed. It really, yeah, really handles loads better. But it's got the multi-link suspension, same as the MG4, and same as the Cyberster as well. So round corners, oh yeah. Oh, it feels like a real driver's car, this. Within the constraints of it being still a crossover, you know, and this is no Cyberster, but it feels so much more positive to drive. Love it. Okay, let's take it on the motorway, see how it does there. So acceleration, not an issue in this. As I say, it's got up to 230 horsepower. When we put our foot down to join a motorway, no worries at all. We've got blind spot monitoring on the mirrors, so rear cross traffic alert as well if you're reversing as parking spaces. And when we're on the motorway, just stick it on cruise control. So press the steering wheel button here, that activates your cruise control. Press the centre of this joystick in, that sets the speed. And if you hold down the button for the cruise control, that then shows you a little picture of a steering wheel here. And that means that it's also steering you in the lane. It's a hands-on system, so it doesn't want you to take your hands off the wheel, because in the event that the cameras can't see the white lines or something happens, you're in charge of this car. But it does a lot of the steering for you, so in theory, yeah, you can take your hands off the wheel and it would steer and keep you within the white lines. But it works really well. In terms of range so far, so we've done just over 108 miles, we're on 65% battery, it's showing expected 183 miles left, so this is supposed to do 288 miles on a full charge, and based on what it's seen today, it can do that, which is really impressive, really impressive. So one of the cool things about the MGS5 is that it comes with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay built in, but they are wireless systems, which is unusual for MG. For the first time they've actually got them wireless. And that's good because it means that you can use the wireless phone charger without any cables down here. Now if you don't have the capability on your phone, there is a USB socket under the armrest here, and that means that you can then use it as a wired system. But in the spirit of keeping things wireless, or wires not on show, up on the top of the windscreen here, next to the rearview mirror, we've actually got a USB-A socket, which is a power socket you can use for a dash cam. So rather than having to get a dash cam wiring kit and wire it all the way down through under your dashboard and up your A-pillars and all the rest of it, instead it's got a socket already built in for you up here. So you have just a little short jumper cable and therefore not have any trailing wires around. I think that's a really great idea, and it'd be great if a lot of other manufacturers would do something similar for us. So we're just pulling into the motorway services here at Forton just to show you the rapid charging capabilities of the car. Now the car's currently got 66% battery in, so we're not going to bother charging it because it's not going to show you the full speed. But one thing I do want to show you though is just how good the quality of the cameras, the 360 cameras on this, vastly superior to pretty much any of the other cars that I've sat in recently. Really high definition, a really good resolution, looks brilliant, which is great, just what you want to see when you're parking in tight spaces like this. So the new MGS5 got a rear mounted charge point as opposed to on the front on the old MG EV Mark 1 and Mark 2. Now this can do CCS charging up to 139 kilowatts, which means 10 to 80% should be done in less than half an hour if you're in one of these high powered chargers on the motorway. Now if you're charging at home, that's done with the AC charging on Type 2, and that's 7 kilowatts. That's going to take roughly about sort of 8 hours to fully charge the car from flat to full. One of the things which people found quite annoying in a lot of new cars is that they've got this safety kit built in, and things like lane keep assist, speed limit warning, all the rest of it, which is mandated now. So it's quite useful to be able to turn that off. Now, previously on a lot of the cars, you've had to go through menus and dig through and change things, and then it resets itself at the start of the next time you sit in the car, and then you've got to do it all again. This has a new feature. So if we go to the settings feature on here and go to MG Pilot, at the top here you'll see this button, MG Pilot. If we customize these settings, what it means we can do is we can save it. So what we'll do is we'll go through all the settings and say, okay, do we want the overspeed audible warning on? Do we want the speed limit change warning on? Do we want front collision? Well, front collision I usually leave on, actually, that's quite a good one. Go back to the top, long press on this MG Pilot custom button, and that's then saved. Now the good thing is, next time I get into the car, all I need to do is swipe down from the top, tap MG Pilot Custom, and then that saves all my settings. So it's like literally swipe, tap, tap, and that's all the settings changed again. It resets on every single key turn, because if there's a different driver, they might need all the safety kit. But for you as the driver, the main driver of the car, you can just go swipe, tap, tap, all sorted. There's 6 colours to choose from at launch, with Arctic White as the free solid paint colour, and Black Pearl, Dynamic Red, Cosmic Silver, Camden Grey and Piccadilly Blue, all available at extra cost. The MGS5 starts from just £28,495 on the road for the standard range SE model. The SE specification comes with 17-inch alloy wheels with aero covers, the full MG Pilot safety suite, LED headlights, DRLs and tail lights, auto headlights, silver roof rails, rear parking camera with rear sensors, two-tone grey fabric upholstery, the fancy dual-screen infotainment system with sat-nav, wireless CarPlay and Android Auto and 4 speakers, and iSmart app connectivity. If you want the long-range battery, which gives an extra 77 miles of range on the WLTP cycle, then it costs £2,500 more, at £30,995. If you want to increase the specification from SE to Trophy level with the long-range battery, and that gets you 18-inch rotor-style alloy wheels with aero covers, rear privacy glass, electrically adjustable, power folding, heated door mirrors, two-tone grey leather-style seats with cloth inserts, an electric driver's seat with 6-way adjustment, heated front seats and steering wheel, rain-sensing wipers, a powered smart tailgate which is hands-free so you can swipe your foot and it opens, 360-degree camera with front and rear parking sensors and a wireless phone charger, then that's an extra £2,500 on top, making it £33,495 on the road. This is the Trophy long range that we're driving today, and we've seen that it would be possible to get over 300 miles in summer driving. I think a lot of people on the internet forums and things, when they heard that the car was coming out with a 64 kilowatt hour battery, they were like, oh, why don't they launch the 77 kilowatt hour battery like there's in the extended range MG4? Well, A, it adds quite a lot of cost, and B, less than 5% of buyers actually choose that in the end anyway, which makes it more costly for MG as a company to offer that as an option. This car actually seems to be more efficient than the MG4 in real world driving, particularly on the motorway. And so actually, you're getting close to sort of 300 miles range out of the effectively long range battery rather than the extended range. So yeah, I think it's much more efficient. They've done a real good job with the efficiency, not only of the aerodynamics of the car, but they've also improved the electric motor. So it's apparently got a less resistance within the motor, which therefore means that it's got better bearings that are 10% more efficient, I think they said. So overall, that contributes to what is a better WLTP from the same battery as effectively we've got in the MG4. But it's a bigger vehicle. Win, win, win. So we've got back to the dealership now, and we've done a total of 130 miles since it was charged, 130.3 miles, and we've averaged 4.4 miles per kilowatt hour. Now actually, I think that's really good. We've got 57% of the battery left. It's saying it's got about 160 miles of range left. 160 plus 130, that's 290. They claim 288 miles. I think that's pretty brilliant going. We've been on the motorway, we've been up and down hills, we've been in sport mode a bit of the way as well. So yeah, so I think that the fact that it can get that sort of efficiency is really impressive actually. The main bit we came back on now was on the motorway, and that was at 4.3 miles per kilowatt hour. So again, still not bad at all. So yeah, overall, I'm really impressed with the efficiency of this car. I think that MG's done a really good job with the efficiency, and that's really good to see, particularly with an SUV crossover type vehicle. In terms of comfort, great. It's a real nice, comfortable place to sit. All the things that you touch feel nice. The layout of the screen up here works really, really well. I like the physical buttons. I like the wireless charger. I like the cup holders. I like the storage. I really like this car, and I think actually for the price, particularly, I think this price point, I think that MG's done a cracking job. Hope you found this video useful. If you have, please click the like button down there. It really helps us out. And let us know in the comments below what you think about this, particularly if you've currently got an MG ZS EV or an MG4. Do you think you'd want to upgrade to the MGS5? Click up here to subscribe to our channel. You'll see more information and our reviews as soon as they go live. Click up here for more information about the MGS5 on our website. It gives you all the spec details, etc. Click down here to see the video review we did of the MG4. And if you want, you can see the MG Cyberster video we did just here. Thanks for watching. See you next time.